Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the Persian and Peloponnesian War. And our central question is, what is the impact of the Persian and Peloponnesian War on Athens' status as a leading city-state? So the Persian War. The Persian Empire controls what is now Turkey, and the Greeks, the Iona part, are living in an area. They revolt against the Persian rule because they do not like the way that the Persians are ruling them. They have no say in their government, and they don't really have rights. So they asked Athens to help them in a rebellion. Athens sends help, but the Persian king Darius was very furious at Athens for helping. He vows to punish all the Greeks. So he launches a fleet to attack Athens. So this was the start of the war, and the cause of the war was Athens interfering with Persian affairs. And this is just a map from Asia Minor to Persia, and it just shows the main roads, which is the Royal Road, which is in red, and that's just really the main trading route along the area. This is another route, and this is the route of the war. As you can see, the dark part is the route that the Spartans took to destroy the Persians. The Battle of Marathon. In 490 BC, Persians fight Greeks at Marathon. The Persians are defeated. Phoebus runs 26 miles back to Athens to tell them of the Greeks' victory. He dies immediately. And this is where we get the marathon, like our marathon that you run, which is 26.1 miles. Well, 26.2. And the Greeks know that the Persians will return, so Themistocles urges Athens to build a fleet, a warship, in preparation, because they wanted to be prepared whenever the Persians came back so that they could defeat them. Xerxes. He was the son of Darius, and he vows revenge for the defeat of his father. The Battle of Thermopylae. In 480 BC, Xerxes puts together a force larger than his father's. Athens convinced Sparta to help them fight against the Greeks, against the Persians. They argue if Persians win, they will conquer all of Greece, including Sparta. So this brought Sparta in because they didn't want to lose their territory. I mean, who would? Spartans faced Persians at Thermopylae. It was a narrow mountain pass, so it was very difficult to really spread out. You had to have a very good defense effort, but you also had to have a good offensive effort. But they were eventually defeated. Persians marched to Athens only to find the city deserted and burnt down. Athens' last hope lies with its navy. And this is a map of the route that the Persian soldiers took and the main road. As you can see, the Persian soldiers went around the Spartans so they could ambush them from behind. The Battle of Somalia Straits. Athenians wished to draw the Persian fleets into the narrow straits of Salamis because they could trap their enemy ships and they could be outmaneuvered. They sent slaves to tell Persians Athenians were lying. They were retreating. But this was a big lie because they weren't retreating. This would draw the Persians into the straits. The Persians gave chase. They were drawn into a trap. The Athenian ships drove into Persian ships with underwater battering rams. The Persians defeated, but Athens was still in ruins. And you can see here the straits and just the path that the Persians took and how they were cut off. And these are the type of ships that were used during that time. You can see the underwater battering rams. There's a big one in the front, but then also the little ones that are kind of used as oars also. The results of the war. Athens emerges as the most powerful city-state because they could defeat the Persians. They convinced all other city-states that Persians will return and that they needed to prepare for that day. The formation of the Delian League which was the Alliance for Defense with other city-states, was founded during this time. This united Greek as one because they were all fighting against one cause, the Persians. They used funds from the League to rebuild Athens, and other city-states got mad and wanted to leave the League, but Athens refused. The Golden Age of Athens. This occurred under Pericles, who lived from 460 to 429 BC. He created a jury system, paid government employees, but any who opposed his ideas or were seen as a threat to the democracy would be sent into exile. He believed in democratic ideas, education, arts, and the arts flourished under him. Now we're going to get into the Peloponnesian War. So in 431 BC, it was between Athens and Sparta. Sparta was very resentful of the Athenian power because they believed they should be ruling, they should be the best. So Sparta created their own league called the Peloponnesian League, but it wasn't as powerful as the Delian League. It was a 27-year-long war fought off and on. Sparta had the advantage because they had better military, but Athens had the advantage of having a better navy. Sparta was mostly in attack and offense the whole time, while Athens were defending. Sparta laid siege to Athens. Athenians retreat behind city walls, and the plague breaks out, killing many, including Pericles. Sparta finally defeats Athens. And you can see here where the major cities are, what parts the Athenian League control, and then where the Spartan allies lie. The results of the war. This was the end of Athens' greatness, and Sparta rises as the dominant power in Greece. The war weakened both city-states, so none of them, of course Athens was hurt because they lost their power, but they were both equally hurt other than that. A new power emerges in the north, Macedonia. Philip II forms an alliance with other Greek city-states, and he plans to conquer and unite Greece, but he's assassinated. Son Alexander the Great will succeed him. And that's the end of it. I hope you understood the results of both the Peloponnesian War and the Persian War, and you can relate them to one another, but you can also see how Athens was destroyed during these two wars. Hope you enjoyed.